Alright guys, this is a review update on our ongoing investment with Godwin Capital, where I share my investment experience with GC8. I'm going to be discussing four main topics. Did they pay out when they said they were going to? Did the return meet their original projections? How good were the updates? And did they have a platform? Even more importantly, was it any good? I was starting to really like Godwin as a fuss-free investment, but then that email was sent and it's kind of threw a spanner in the works. So let's get into it. We invested in Godwin's GC8 on a 24-month term, which was due to end in March 2025, so we're about 6 months away from the official maturity date. This investment with Godwin isn't tied to a specific project, so it's not like we had to wait for that project to complete. Instead, we're invested in a portfolio of projects, including residential and commercial developments in partnership with brands like Audi, Lidl, Costa, Starbucks, and the new Wendy's locations. Things were looking good. And then out of the blue, and despite regular reassurances from my introducer about Godwin's storming year profits, we recently got this email from Godwin notifying investors of a proposed 12-month extension on outstanding bonds. The email gives a load of reasons for why their profit delivery cycle has been impacted and says that future investment products will have a minimum 3-year term. The proposal is currently with the security trustee and I'm waiting for next steps, but based on this change and the reasons given, I'm rating Godwin a 2 with a 6 times multiplier for 12 on payout. My introducer pitched GC8 to me as a reliable investment and all the updates so far have been positive, so this one definitely took me by surprise and it's just disappointing. A bondholder resolution meeting will be held soon. Until then, the future remains unclear. For return, nothing too exciting to report here. This investment had a projected return of 12% per year. It's a good market beating return, but definitely on the lower end of the scale compared to the returns I'd usually expect when investing in an alternative platform or product in this case, which I'll come on to. So why did I choose Godwin's GC8? The simple fact is that this investment was supposed to be very secure. The investment is secured by debenture with a charge on GC8's assets, with Blue Water Capital appointed as the trustee on behalf of investors. I initially rated Godwin a 5 with a 10 times multiplier for 50 on return. But until the path forward is confirmed at the bondholder resolution meeting, we just don't know what the projected return on this investment will be. The outcome could be anything at this point. They may propose an additional 12% for the extra 12 months. They could even suggest 12 months at 0% interest, just to alleviate the pressure while they focus on getting projects over the line and paying people back, which I don't think is a bad idea. It would reduce the annualised return to 8%, but I feel like we're now in capital retention territory. We don't know yet, but my point is it could be anything. I'll keep my score as it is for now and update it once we know more. I expect we'll be getting a lot of emails soon, but I won't lie, I was starting to get really pissed off with this one. The investment with Godwin felt like I'd just sent money into a black hole, never hearing anything. Even my introducer was difficult to contact at times, although I was always eventually able to get on a call with them. There was some sort of admin error stopping me from getting the updates from Godwin, but since that was sorted out, the updates come out pretty regularly and they're emailed out to investors. They contain basic project information, nothing too in-depth or specific to GC8, but it was good to see what was happening with the money. The emails are nice, but I think more information on GC8's performance would have been appreciated, especially since now it's clear that Godwin Capital wasn't being fully transparent with investors about the cash flow issues in GC8. Everything seemed fine. The LinkedIn content was frequent. It was positive. This makes my previous point even more important, as this repayment extension is going to leave a sour taste in the mouths of many investors. More detailed information on GC8's performance wouldn't only be appreciated, but after this, I think it would be required for investors to actually trust the word of Godwin Capital. All of this communication is delivered in emails, and this is because Godwin doesn't have a platform. The entire investment process felt pretty old school, especially compared to other platforms like Acorn or Shojin. When investing with Godwin, you get a certificate as evidence of your investment, and that's it. And that's not necessarily a knock on them, as their use of advisors kind of mitigates the need for a platform, to some extent anyway. With the introducer that I used, I was assigned an account manager, and they were available to contact at any time. I even had occasional calls with them to discuss updates from Godwin, but this was before the admin error with the Godwin emails was sorted out. So I thought that was the only way to get updates at all. Obviously, different introducers will work differently, but this is how it works with mine. Given that Godwin doesn't have a platform, but I do have an assigned account manager, I'm rating Godwin a 2 with a 2 times multiplier for 4 on platform. Godwin was supposed to be a fuss-free, no drama investment, but it has turned out to be quite the opposite. I initially gave a high score, but I've reduced it based on their initial proposal to extend repayments, and it could decrease even further if the return falls. My current score is 72 out of 100, but Godwin just needs to do what they need to do to see investors right. So whether you're an existing Godwin Capital investor or looking to invest with them soon, I hope this information has provided some value, and feel free to drop me a message if you'd like to talk about any of this. I'll be posting another video once this investment matures with my final review, or if there's any interesting developments between now and then. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with our investments with Godwin Capital and other similar platforms, but that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.